What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bad C, aka Nicholas Cage, aka Larry J. Blige, aka your mother's baby father, y'all. Yo, I'm in the building, man. Thanks for coming back for another episode of your favorite song where I sit down with your favorite artist and I ask, yo, what's your favorite song, big? Um, we done had a great season with season one. Now we deep into season two. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And tell a friend about the show, man. Now tonight, I got a special guest on the show, man. One of the illest underrated pens of all time, man. I remember watching Sun come up, and I was like, like word up, ladies and gentlemen, Barbarian and Titan, and my brother Ali Vegas in the building. What's good, bro?
Yo, what's good? Finally, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Um, it's an honor to have you on the show, bro. You know, I meant that, man. Like I remember when I first seen Ali Vegas, and I remember being like, yo, because I heard your shit. And I was like, yo, who the fuck is this dude, man? And then it was like, yeah, it's a young cat. Ooh. And I'm listening, and I ain't gonna front, man. I was hating a little bit because I'm like, yo, man, yo, why is he so nice and he younger than me? Why is he so nice? I know you got that a lot. Like, it wasn't like bad, it was
No,
like,
no, no, yeah, no.
yeah, it made me really get like you were an inspiration, my G. You know what I'm saying? For the pen. I know you got that a lot, didn't you? From a lot of the older heads.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was more. I mean, it was more like, yeah, like it wasn't like some of it was bad hate, but it wasn't like. But most of it was just like couldn't believe it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah,
was it was more of that, more like there's no way somebody got to be writing this shit. There's no way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. When did you first start though? When did you first start writing and rapping?
I mean, I was like I said, I was started with poetry. Like I was 6 years old. You know, yeah, I was 6 years old. Poetry, and I was like, that was it. From there, I used to write the most prolific poems. That it was like my brother was like, "Yo, speed that shit up, and let me hear
Yeah,
that beat." He was like, "Yeah, that's rhyming right there." And then
yeah,
once my brother Chief did that, that was it.
yeah. And it's wild because you can hear it. You can hear the poetry. The, how poetry was more than likely the springboard. Like you can usually tell when somebody is. You could tell in their writing when they kind of started with the poetry rather than just jumping into rapping.
Mm.
Like I ain't really get into the poetry thing until later, but you could tell in my style, it's not as my I get it's not it's more green. It's I don't want to say green, but it's more rough around the edges than poetry. Where if you notice, like the MCs that start with poetry, they're very very deliberate in the structure and the bar and the framework. Like it's almost like Shakespearean type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like with
Yeah,
their approach. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like you could definitely tell the MCs that come from
yeah. Because
that.
most of the poets have a passive aggressive approach, and most of the people that's most of like that rap that rhyme without poetry is they have a aggressive downhill approach. You know what I mean?
Right, 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 right.
Like for instance, like two like Nas and AZ is perfect example. Like Nas, you could tell the poetry. AZ is more
Right.
downhill, like more downhill effect, like more aggressiveness, aggressive writing. You know what I mean? Like it's not as passive aggressive as you know what I mean as it is, and that's what makes that's how it is. So that's how you learn how. That's why whenever I'm on a track with somebody, I know how to compliment them more
Yeah.
than more than just trying to be the best on the track. It's about complimenting. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So poetry could fit in any setting, any environment.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, shit. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna get to this part. I'm gonna tell you what my favorite joint from you is, and this was tough because you got a lot of records. So usually when I have guests on, and I find myself stuck, like trying to figure out what my favorite joint is out of the whole catalog. What I do is I try to think of nostalgia or how each song made me feel. Or you know what I'm saying, or who I was cool with around that time, or whatever. Just something that moments,
Yeah.
and to be 100 with you, my favorite joint from you gotta be the Professional. Because again, I was really rooting for you. I didn't even know you. I didn't know you at the time. It was just the fact that I thought it was so ill that you were so young and your pen was so grown. So when I saw that you was on the Into Deep soundtrack with
Mm-hmm.
that, bro, I was super proud. Like I knew you, like you were my man's. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember hearing the record and seeing how big it was to be on that movie. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like you did it for us. You know what I mean? Tell me about that record. Did Trackmasters produce that?
Nah, my man Chop Diesel produced that. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about it was it wasn't even my record at first. Um,
Mm,
it was my man Santana record. You know what I'm saying? And I was going to the joint to just to do another joint with my man Chops. But my man Dio, he had the vision of saying he knew like Chops was like a primo. You know what I'm saying? Like Chop
yeah,
Diesel was like a primo. So like when he played the record, my man Santana was on it. Not to take nothing from him, but my man Dio was like, no. I need that record for Vague. Like that's Vague record. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Chop, Chop was rhyming at the time too. So he was like, nah, like I ain't, you know what I mean? Like son ain't, you know what I mean? He ain't hear me yet. So he was just like, nah, niggas ain't iller than. So
yeah,
Dio, listen, I'm telling you, that's his record. He
yeah,
like, so Chop like, all right, well, let him, know what I mean? Let him rhyme on it. If he rhyme on it,
yeah.
like, all right. Dio like, yo, man, just go in the booth and just claim the record. And then when I started rhyming, he was like, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's his record. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
yeah, and that's how that joint. Once that was it, that once it's over, the specialist. Soon as it come on, store bought rap
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when you was recording it, did you record it under the premise that you knew that it was going to be on that soundtrack, or you recorded it and then later on it was like, yo,
Yeah, I recorded it and then they put it on the soundtrack. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was just what it was. Like, so it was so crazy because like what people don't understand is like that's what they was doing. Like if you look at it, the way they were setting it up was like it was mine for the taking. You know what I mean? Like they was just like, but what happens every time, and it still happens to this day, is that's why when like Poke from Trackmasters, he always called me the Muse. He always called me the Muse because he like yo Vague, when you come out, when you drop or when you're around, or you writing for other people, and everybody hear the records that's coming. He said you always inspire. You even inspire the greats to be great. You know what I mean? So remember when I was coming in the game, like it was at a time where like where everybody pen like J pen was really just ascending, but everybody else was at a downtime. So when I came out, when I did the specialist, it was
yeah,
like it was like whoa, like
yeah,
LL text me immediately. LL text me like, yo, son, welcome to the long. He like, welcome to the long lineage of Queens. And like, you know what I mean? And it was just so crazy when that joint dropped. And that's how they were setting it up. Because even in the Into Deep soundtrack, like even in the movie, they played a song when Nas is making a direct sale and all that. Like it was just like that's just the power of media and how they sell. That's how they sell you stuff. You know what I mean? Of
Yeah,
letting you
yeah,
like, nah, look, this is the, you know what I mean? Like, this is the next lineage of Queens. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's what it was. When they grabbed that, they just put down the soundtrack. Like, nah, we need this for the soundtrack. I'm like, all right, bet.
yeah. And you know what's crazy, man? Like about you, man, is you're yo. We gotta protect Ali Vegas at all costs because yo, man, like you've been around so much shit. And yo, you know what's crazy? Like I trip off of you because your demeanor is so yeah. But it trips me out because I'm like, yo, that's the demeanor of a man who's seen everything. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like it trips me out about you, and it's wild because I know a lot of niggas, I know a lot of rap niggas, I know, but it's something about you. You were young in
yeah,
it, and like it's like it's almost some Bow Wow shit. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like Bow Wow was young, like he's seen a lot of shit like that.
yeah. It's
Niggas a
so
legend.
crazy. We seen it together. You know what I mean? Because it was crazy because I knew, like when Bow Wow came out, it was so ill because JD, wherever we was at, JD would always get on the stage and introduce him. You know what I mean? So that way it's like, yo, y'all respect me, so respect what I'm bringing. You know what I mean? It was so dope because I had to always do the opposite. I had to fight for everything. I had to, like, you know what I mean? Like fight for everything. Like everything had to, not even fight for everything, but I just had to always get everything on my own. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was afraid. Everybody was afraid to to stand next to me because they was like, because of that natural light. The only person that, like, that's why that's my brother to this day. You know what I mean? God rest his soul. Like 500,000.
Rest the dead. Rest the
That was the
dead.
only guy in the world. You know what I mean? That's why I am the way I am now. If somebody be like, yo, son, let's do something. And I'm like, I bet, let's get it done. If I could do it, let's get it done. You know what I mean? Because that's how he showed me the way. Like it was like, yo, let's get stuff done. Like we did Italian guitars right on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm saying. So like everybody else was just so nervous to get next to me. You know what I mean? So it was like, so once that happened, once I seen how that was, I was like, okay, I know it need to be done. And then that's when I just started just doing it.
Yeah. Did you do a lot of battle rapping back then? Because
No,
I remember seeing, I saw something, but it was some old school shit. You was wild young. It was a couple of niggas. It looked like y'all was in the studio. That looked like the living room. Y'all was freestyling or some shit.
not that probably was me, 500,000, and my man, and there was
Was
the rap.
half in there?
It had to be if we was on the couch, right? It had to be me
Yeah, I
half.
think I think he was. Yeah, I think he
I
was.
had the
I think
That's
he
when I
was.
had the Mets jacket on. I think I had the Mets starter.
Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
it was Queen Latifah and them artists Gotti, and it was me and 500,000. Yeah, so now we was doing the interview and we was rhyming and shit. Yeah, like we had that joint. Now I did they had like the Kit Kat Club. That's when they used to have the battles there.
Yeah.
I used to go there. You know what I mean? I went there. I was in one of those. Then I did the Blaze joint, but that was they offered us. We were supposed to be battling for expedition, but then when I got there, they were saying we battled for Averett. So that's why I was like, nah, I'm out. But then they
I
was
think I heard. Yeah, I think I heard Goods and Jay Mills bring you up in a conversation. It was talking about that just back in the days and how the culture used to be. Like niggas, like it was a battle, but it ain't like you got to prepare for the nigga. Like you just spit the bars that you had, and some niggas would take 16s and put them together and make the 32s. And,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The concrete. What you learn is the concrete is way different than stage battling.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Battle in the park. That's, you know what I mean. It's way different than like like on stage battling is more comical than anything. You know what I mean? Like a nigga that could a nigga that could joke or snap on people, that he'll win a battle. You know what I'm saying? Because
Facts.
that is different than in the concrete when you on the side of the park or whatever, and the motherfuckers gotta hear you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And everybody strapped. They're standing around. You know what I'm saying?
So, like it's
uh,
different. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
so, it was like,
yeah,
but yeah, I did the Kit Kat joint. I mean, that's when I met Black Rob. Um, that's when I met Black Rob in person because I knew Black. Rest in peace. I knew Black because he was locked up with my man Shorty, and it was so crazy. He would call. They would call. You know what I mean? And my man Shorty, but yo, Black want to talk to you. So Black Rob be on the phone. We be chopping it up, rhyme and shit. Then you know what I mean? It's so crazy because then that's when he came home. And that's why it was so crazy when he's like, yeah, we used to, you know what I mean? When he was on the puff joint, he's like, you know what I mean? I used to call him for hours on the phone, like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's so crazy, like just to see
yeah,
him come and bubble, you know what I'm saying? So like
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
crazy. I was so young and was just so young, just doing grown man things. So it was like
yeah,
that's why it was like when I walked through the jungle, it was so different because it's like they're like, damn, this nigga, you know what I mean? Like this young nigga used to be the crazy part about it. That's why everybody always respected it, was because I had the book 48 Laws of Power before anybody. You know what I mean? It was me and Steve Stout was like one of the first people where we had like the manuscript damn near. And the crazy part about it, I sent it to like the whole jail. Like, you know what I mean? Black Robs, everybody, anybody that came home, when they came home, they
yeah,
always tell me, they be like, nah, that young nigga Vague is nothing to play with. Like he like, yo, Vague was the first. He'll tell you, Black Rob would have told you, anybody, yo, Vague was the first nigga with the 48 Laws of Power. And he sent it, I sent it to every nigga I knew in jail. All my niggas in jail was reading the 48 Laws of Power. So when they came home, they was just, everybody that came home just went straight to the top, succeeded. You know what I mean? Like, it was
yeah,
so, like, that was like, you know what I mean? Just the youngness of just being that that scholar. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you know what? Before we get into what your favorite song is, I mean, I just you being such an almanac of this shit, bro. Like, I gotta ask you, who, what MC that you are a fan of did you get to meet and tell me that story? Like what?
The crazy part about it, was like you know what I mean. The only one I was like, the crazy part about it was like my favorite MC of all time is always Rakim. It's always my favorite MC. You know what I mean? And it's like the crazy part about that is that when you so much, it's kind of like weird because it's kind of like because I knew everybody else beforehand. Like you know what I mean? Like the Jays, the Bigs. Like I knew everybody else. Like so, it was like, but Raj my favorite, and Big was my next favorite. Like Ra and Big. Like I always tell people, like Ra and Ready to Die is two. Like those, like Rakim and Biggie, my two favorite MCs. You can't tell
Yeah,
me no. So like, but like it was so crazy because when I, like Rock is like on my album that was the album that was coming out, Generation Gap. Like that was the last song that was gonna be recorded. The Generation Gap was
was you a Rakim?
me, Rakim, and Nas.
Ooh wee.
Yeah, that was the song. Generation Gap that was gonna be the last song for that album. Was me, you know what I mean? And then so it was so crazy because when me and Rob built, like when I first like that, it was like, man, like damn, I'm here with Rob, but it was like we both so intellectual and tune that it was no words being spoken. It
Right.
was it was so it was so weird. Like the vibe is so strong, but it's no words being spoken. It's just like because we it's like the same way. Like we together, but we picking a corner, but we building and vibing without saying no words. It was the
Yeah.
weirdest. Everybody on
Yeah.
everybody that was involved was like, you know what I mean? And it was crazy because what was ill was because I got because they was like, damn, that record had never happened, right? It was like they was like that record had never happened because Rod not gonna get on the record. You know what I mean? Rod not gonna get on the record once he know like, okay, Esco on the record. Like this was at the time where that
Yeah.
relationship bond wasn't steady.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I made it happen to where it was like, nah, they say, yo, Les was so happy because he said, hold up, Rod agreed? I'm like, yeah, Rod, like, whatever for the young guard.
So y'all recorded the record.
Esco ain't get on. We was waiting for him. We was waiting for him. You know what I mean? He just ain't want to. I mean, I guess he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do the record. You know, it wasn't no price. You know what I'm saying? He kept raising the price, and I kept saying, "I ain't paying whatever he want." It's me and Beyonce. It's me and Beyonce. Me and Beyonce, we got the biggest budgets on Columbia. So it's whatever I wanted. And then it was no price tag on whatever I wanted. So when Esco he'd be like, yo, 50 grand. I'm like, bad, that's nothing. Then he took it to 100. I'm like, pay him whatever you want. Don't matter. Like
Yeah.
you can't say a number. If he said $1 million, they gonna pay it because they know what that's gonna be.
Yeah.
We gonna like they not worried about that. If we paid Nas $1 million, if we'd have paid Nas $1 million, just the record of Ali Vegas, Nas, and Rakim, that million will be made before we even wake up the next
Well,
morning.
niggas be playing that shit now.
That's what I'm trying. Like that's what, and the beat
Yeah.
was crazy because the beat was. That's what was. It was. Oh man, this is for the loving you joint, and they chopped it up so crazy. It was
Yeah.
stupid. It was the,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and that was gonna be the last record, you know. But I mean, it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what you know. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Nah, that's even dope. So Rakim played his part. There's a version with you and Ra.
nah,
Oh,
it was just agreed. Because I didn't.
oh,
Yeah, remember at that time, records was done face to face.
yeah, facts. That's a
You know what
fact.
I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was. We had the session laid up with, and we had it to where I was like, yo, let them pick wherever they want to record. Because as I'm saying, like my budget was unlimited. So it was like, let them pick. If they say, yo, you know it'd be crazy if we go to Africa to record it. All right, let's go. Like it was
Let's
no,
go.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was no. I didn't have no cap. I didn't have no cap on the budget. Like I'm writing for Kobe Bryant.
yeah,
My budget is unlimited. I'm in the studio with Kobe every day.
yeah, yeah.
So like
That's
so,
fire.
yeah. Like
That's fire.
Kobe is on Columbia. I'm in the studio with Kobe writing joints. Like I'm not like
Word.
my budget was unlimited. So wherever they wanted to do it, I was like, let's do it.
That's fire. So now we gonna get to the part everybody want to know. Out of your whole catalog, what would you say your favorite joint is? Now, this could be a joint that you was a feature on. It could be a solo joint. It could be a song that never even came out. You know what I'm saying? It could be sitting on your hard drive right now. You know what I mean? What to you is your favorite song?
Man, man. I mean, it's tough, but um, it'll be a tie between um narcotics and love at first sight. Like it'll be a tie between those.
You
And
remember who produced them?
well, Chop Diesel produced both of them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Narcotics. It was so crazy because narcotics. The crazy story about narcotics was I was um I was writing that joint in high school in my science class. It was a poem. I was writing as a poem, but it was crazy because my nigga Pap, you know what I mean? Like Pat Pooch was that's when he was running with G Rap. But me and my cousin was in school, so you know how you know what I mean? You know how to talk be, you know what I mean? Like, what? My cousin Pap. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, nigga, like what? So my nigga's like, what? My nigga vague, whatever. So he like, bet I'm gonna bring Pap up here.
Yeah.
So we was on the steps. We battled on my high school steps. Me and Pap. You know what I mean? That's my guy to this day. Um, and it was so crazy because I just was writing narcotics, and so we going back and forth, and I like me, I could freestyle my ass off. I'm one of the best, you know what I mean? So we freestyling back and forth, whatever. We going back and forth, and it's like nobody really could stand with me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then so then Pat, he did the that's when he did the alphabet joint.
Yeah.
And that was like the alphabet joint. That shit was like when he did that joint, rhyming from A to Z. You know what I mean? When he did that joint, that shit was like how the Ali movie was when Foreman hit him with the shot right before he knocked him out. Like that was like that. Like he hit me with that. Foreman caught me with that uppercut,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself like, "Don't go down, don't fall
Facts.
down." You know,
Facts.
so that was like you know what I mean? Like that shit woke me up. Like, no, this is a fight. Like this is
Yeah.
a fight. Like,
Yeah. Fight back.
yeah, like it was like because it was like like it was heading for like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Split decision, whatever. Like I'm winning most of the rounds, but it was just like that one was like, the last impression is the last impression.
Yeah. That's a
So
fact.
so my man Joe is like, he in my corner. So he like, yo, go to the book, man. He letting you know he coming from the book. He like, go to the book. And I
Yeah.
just finished writing narcotics, and everybody got quiet because after all everybody got quiet, and I'm like, and they looking at me, and it was perfect because the setup was so perfect because now everybody looking at me like, damn, Veg, what you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I was like, y'all know me. I'm worth more OT. I was kept low key till I made your wife OD. Me and your daughters down the night, separated from my sister China White when we was babies. A killer that raised me, praised me. I was cut fried and wavy for the fiends raised me back. And it was like everybody was just
Yeah.
then, and I was like, who am I? Narcotics, and that was it. Everybody was like, what the fuck? And that
Yeah.
was it. Like that, they
Yeah.
was like. Then that was it. The school was like, I told y'all my nigga is the like that's why mathematics is like, you know what I mean? And it was
Yeah.
crazy. But my man Do, my manager at the time, was like, he was like, yo, say that, let me hear that rhyme, and then I would say it. Cause I only had the first verse. So he was like, yo, let me hear that. And then we had Eddie F crib, and he put on the new edition record. He put it on, and it was like, and that's how narcotics was. That's how it was birthed right there with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. The record.
Laid it down, and it was crazy. So that's why that's one. That's that right there. And love at first sight. You know what I mean? That's like where I talk about like with my mom's like real life like real life shit. You know what I mean? Where like when I came out, that's what I'm saying. When I came out, it was like, okay, I ain't take my first breath until my grandfather took his last breath. You know what I mean? And that's why like I explained that on that record, and it was like that's what I'm saying. When people like come around me, when people like meet me and come around me, and I like and they know me enough to where they around and they realize like, and then they hear my mother talk and all that, and they realize these are not records, these stories are real. They be like wow, like oh shit, like we thought this was just rhymes, and like nah, this is, you know what I mean, like my life is since a baby like was always real.
Uh, yeah, yeah. Nah, that's what's up. That is what's up. What you um what you got going on now? But even before we get into that, everybody that's watching this, make sure y'all go check out Narcotics and make sure y'all check out The Professional. All of them are available everywhere on all streaming networks. You know, make sure y'all check those out. Um, what you got going on now? Like what you got popping? I know you was doing a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, well, I got Hallelujah out right now. That's
Hallelujah.
yeah, Hallelujah is out right now, produced by entirely by Sha Money Excel.
Shot money.
Yeah, like that's my guy. We did the Book of Ali. That he produced that whole joint or that whole joint too. High Tech did a joint on there too.
Yeah,
We had the Book of Ali. We put that out in 2014, and then we came back with Hallelujah now, and that's Hallelujah's out right now. On all platforms. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We got that out. So now we Hallelujah too. Well, it's the Book of Ali 3. Hallelujah is a chapter of the Book of Ali. Like the Book of Ali's is like the chapters of like our projects that I do solely produced by Sha Money. So when me and Sha Money do a project, it's the Book of Ali. So we had the Book of Ali 1 and then Book of Ali 2, you know what I mean? Hallelujah. And then the Book of Ali 3 is coming out, the Bloodline of God. So that'll be out. That's what we, you know what I mean? We knocking that out now. That's why I always, whenever my music, I always put all my music on my website, therealalivegas.com. You know what I'm saying? I always put all the music up there. We got that going. Got a movie, shooting a film right now, the Williams Brothers. Um, it's gonna be dope. I got yeah, we should be shooting the Williams Brothers joint. It's called the Williams Brothers. It's dope. It's a dope movie. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We got the docu series Life of a Poet. We got the
yeah.
documentary Life of a Poet. Yeah, I'm just, you know what I mean? Just, you know,
Yeah, you moving. You moving.
yeah.
Dweeb Nation.
We got that's what we you know what I mean, we building schools right now because we doing the Dweeb Nation Academy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like we working on man, you know what I mean? Shout out to my right hand man, cooking with Corey. You know what I mean? We teaching the kids, you know what I mean, culinary skills, everything. Like we putting in
yeah,
the work.
yeah, yeah. Nah, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Yo, Veg, man, yo, I appreciate you for dropping by your favorite song. I know we was going back and forth. It was tough for us to
Nah,
lock it in, but we here.
we
You know what
did
I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah, like, and that's the main important thing. Like I always tell people, like in my household, don't matter what time you get home. It's all we just
Yeah,
have
just get home.
home. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah, we
yeah,
be that
yeah.
home. You know? So
Word.
we made it home.
No doubt. And you know, in closing, I want to let you know, I got the privilege of doing this show and being able to speak to artists that I'm a fan of. Like I am genuinely a fan of yours. I wish you nothing but the best and success with everything you do, everything you touch. Definitely an inspiration for me for way back. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the love and the respect is definitely there, brother.
Oh,
Word
always,
up.
man. Our love and respect is mutual. You know what I mean? So like
Fact.
that
Fact.
joint, me, you, Planet Asia, that joint is still untouchable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Alpha male music. Word.
That joint is still
Yeah.
untouchable right now. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
for the 22. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is a dope platform. No, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, like the Billy Dance joint, the Rock. Like I watch, like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I be
yeah.
watching. Man, I be watching.
That's what's up, my brother, my brother. Yo, I salute you again,
That's
man. Word up. Be
love.
safe out here too, bro.